and welcome to another episode of the Best Book Club. I'm your host, Nu Fatora, and this is the podcast where I discuss the best stories with the best minds in the community. On this episode, I'll be discussing a variety of topics with Vonjonw W., the writer of a currently ongoing story I've talked about previously on this podcast named Anne on Manhattan. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, let's go, man. A little bit sleepy, but let's go.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to have a good time. So, tell me about how you first got into the fetish.
Yeah, seeing girls get wedgies, honestly, and like in high school, I've seen some that happen sometimes, and I think media overall. And
Yeah.
I want to say this already. So English is not my first language, so it's like not good, but I think everyone will understand.
Yeah,
Right?
I think it's perfectly
Eh,
fine.
yeah, it's better, right? It's hard a little bit, but speaking is hard. But yeah, it's understandable. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I understand you.
Yeah, but
Um,
yeah, how I got in the fetish, like I've seen it happen sometimes. Like once one time it was like very playful,
mhm.
and the other one I felt like it was kind of embarrassing for the girl. I don't know. I think it kind of stuck in my mind. And like media, I watched a lot of Nickelodeon,
Mhm.
and it was crazy. A lot
Oh
of
yeah.
words there.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember an episode of A.K.A. where a guy literally was hanging by his underwear and like have you ever watched this episode?
I don't know if I ever saw that one, but yeah, Nickelodeon just had tons.
Yeah,
I mean,
like the other fetish too. Like it's actually a bit of a problem right now.
yeah.
But like the they kind of exposed everything. But yeah, like there is an episode in iCarly where a guy gets a hanging wedgie and like it is streamed for everyone, a lot of teenagers, and also
Yeah.
like and it's those kind of situation. Like just I think this whole thing of like this mild domination that you have over someone,
Mhm.
and it really affected me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It seems like a lot of people have grown up watching wedgies in media, and so it sort of comes from that. I think you're one of the lucky ones who was able to see some in person. I don't. That seems to be a pretty uncommon thing nowadays, or even back then. Um,
Like, yeah, man, here in Brazil, I would say it was very common.
really?
But like, I think that in the United States, people are much. It's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing to film, no,
Yeah,
to film to
probably.
post on social media. And here in Brazil, it never was. Never
Okay.
was really a cultural thing. Like Brazilians will totally do it because Brazilians are fucking crazy. Like Brazilians they are on crack,
yeah.
Oh, they are fucking crazy. Like seriously. And but yeah, it's not a cultural thing.
yeah.
To film what's going on, you just keep yourself to yourselves. Uh, but man, it was so common, dude. Like, for example, we have jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu,
Right.
and man, like I'm not saying like for every genius like that. But I've heard of when you get a new belt, like they give you a wedgie. Like nowadays, no. no way. But back in the the two the 2000s, I
Mhm.
yeah, the 2000s, right. But yeah, back in the 2000s, right. And hazings, they you can search, like they use it to give people wedges in hazings like crazy. It's
Okay.
really really common. They skate thing. I think you have seen it before. It's very. It happens all the time. Like use it to happen all the time. But they gave wedges to anyone who won the championship, the skate championship.
Hmm. Sounds like the
So
Brazilians
yeah,
know how to have a good time.
yeah, we got like wedges too. Yeah, but it's like I say, like Brazilians are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, nowadays doesn't happen at all. I think like way less than America, to be honest,
Yeah.
because we, I think we kind of have a bit of a revolution about this kind of thing here.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. So once you got into the fetish, how did you find out about Lucky Fetish? And was that the first place that you ended up when you found the community, or was there somewhere else that you went to?
Yeah, at first, where'dyougos.com.
Nice.
On
Yep. The
the
old board. Yep.
Yeah, the old exactly. Man, I have no idea how I started there. To be honest, I really know, man. I have no idea. I think I probably search it for it sometime. Like I think I was interested in weddings, and I just search it in YouTube or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, normal videos appeared, but fetish ones also appeared, like GR videos
Mm-hmm.
and this kind of thing. I think one thing led it to another, and here we are.
Yeah, I feel like that's how most people found the old Wedgie Girls board is just by searching on the internet.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Like
it's hard to not have that pop up if you're just looking for if you're just searching girl wedgies. That is the name of the website.
exactly.
Okay. Um so once so you part of the fetish and you join the community at that point, then did you write before you were in before you found the community? Were you writing before then, or did you only start getting into writing once you joined the community?
No, no. I mean, I was never a rider until my 30s or something. Then I started playing RPG,
Uh
with
huh.
with my friends, and I played like a Naruto RPG with my friends, and then made the story and everything. And that's when I started to take a liking in writing.
Okay.
I always liked it, like histories and things like that. Since when I was young, like playing with my friends and things like that.
Hmm.
I I how can I say it, like, and when I was 11 years old, I have no fucking idea I how I started it, but I only played with friends.
Hmm.
I have no idea how I discovered role playing in that age. I really don't know. But I did, and I have this funny memory that I had probably my first crush actually, and I don't know if she had a crush on me, but she liked me, like at least as a friend.
Hmm.
And I invited her to Holy Play, and we did. Then one day she said like, I can't hardly play anymore. And I asked her, why? Why you can't? And she said like her sister said that it was for nerds, you know,
Wow.
her old sister. And like that, man, that's such a random memory, you know, like because it makes no sense for her to suddenly holy play with me. I don't know. I have no idea how I discovered holy play. But I started to write for RPG, and I really started to like it. I started to watch shows like Breaking Bad, comedy shows a lot. I always did actually, like Two and a Half Men, things like that.
Mhm.
And suddenly I also started to really like movies, and I was still writing for RPG. And I don't know, it became a hobby, you know.
Mhm.
I really like to write stories. I I still in my in RPG Master, you know, I have a Jujutsu Kaisen RPG, and it's really fun, like to write the story and everything. And and yeah, I fucking love movies too. You know, Scorsese, Tarantino. I really like dialogue.
Yeah.
I was actually he watching Breaking Bad like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, if you're gonna have an inspiration, that's a really good one to have.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, but Breaking Bad or Scorsese and Tarantino?
Oh, I mean all three.
Yeah, free, of course. But any specifically that you mentioned?
I mean, I've seen Breaking Bad. I haven't really. I've seen a couple of I've seen like maybe more than one. I don't. I know I've seen Pulp Fiction by Tarantino. I don't know if I've seen any others.
Oh, yeah,
Scorsese, I know is just really good.
man. Pulp Fiction is so good, dude. So good.
I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't think it was all that great.
Oh, really, man?
I
Oh,
wasn't
that's
that big a
fine.
fan of it. I don't. Maybe it was the
Yeah,
way it was structured. It was a little hard to follow, and I don't know.
yeah. I think what I love the most about Tarantino, I think, is the dialogue. I think it's so
Okay.
funny, dude. It's so good, so good. And Scorsese too. Scorsese is my favorite director. I
Okay.
really like his mafia movies, his mob movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're fantastic, man. Love the dialogue so much, like the plot too. Like Goodfellas is so good.
See,
Uh,
okay, so that
uh,
is Scorsese. All right, so I've seen Goodfellas. I don't remember exactly how it goes. I remember I liked it, but I think the ending felt a little odd. I
oh
don't quite
man,
remember.
it's a real story, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I know that.
It's a real story.
Yeah.
But man, it's so good. Like the camera and yeah, like all those characters. You know, I think it's so interesting to see the mindset, the life of a criminal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like it sounds so glamorous, so easy when you watch like Michael Corleone, right?
Yep.
But but it's not at all. You know, and I think it really shows in his movies. But yeah, I'm a really big fan of dialogue, and something that I think that happens in Tarantino and Scorsese movies is that the dialogue is always fun, right? It's
Yeah.
always fun. It's always funny because I think that makes it more realistic because in real life, people are always trying to be funny, right? Like it's a big part of being a charismatic person, right?
Yep.
You try to make jokes, you try to make people laugh, right? And that's what I like the most. No? I'm a huge fan of both, but more of Scorsese.
Yeah. I mean you focusing on the dialogue absolutely makes sense because it shines through in your work. It the dialogue in Anno Manhattan is the most fun part of of the story, in my opinion. It's the characters feel very alive, and it's just it's really fun to just picture them having all this banter, and yeah, your dialogue is very nice.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's the part that I like that I like writing the most.
Hmm.
And yeah, I really like how it turns out. Right, I reread my stories to read the dialogue. And I had a good time. I think like sometimes I make some things really funny. I
Absolutely.
I was this last chapter, the chapter 5. I really like how Henry acts sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I think that the way he thinks, it's really cool. And I'm kind of I'm not choosing the best words right now, so I'm thinking a little bit.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
I know at least when I'm reading, if it's a block of detail and text, I'm gonna skim through it sometimes. But when I get to dialogue, I stop and I read every word because I feel that it reveals the most about the characters and the story, how people feel about things. Like so much characterization comes out in dialogue. You
yeah,
really figure out who characters are when they speak because everything that is said, everything that they choose not to say, it
yeah,
it
exactly.
reveals so much.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like how they will deal with with the situation, right? So so for example, like with with uh, Principal Dave, like I
Mhm.
introduced in this
Yeah.
lesson, you can figure out his personality just by his quick like appearance, right?
Yep.
And yeah, like that's the dialogue work. Um, Henry, you can see a lot of like traits about him just based on the dialogue, and you can see like how he thinks too. That's important too. But in the end, yeah, it's like you you create his personality based on the dialogue, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes he just does not give a fuck about what any is saying,
Uh-huh.
That's something that you can see by the way he acts. Like he just gets off the car, or he stops thinking
Uh-huh.
literally and thinks about something else,
Yep.
and he just gives these like short answers that does not really uh, it does not really give Anne the answer that she's looking for. And yeah, I agree 100%. Like you kind of create this character like that.
Absolutely.
I really
Yeah,
like. I really like.
Principal Dave, he's in the story for a very brief time so far, but you can tell already that he cares about his job, but he kind of he he cares about his students, but has
Yeah,
also
yeah,
been there for a while, so he's kind of what's the word? I guess like he's not as effective as he could be. Um, yeah, I mean Henry. Henry's had plenty of dialogue, so he's one of the most fleshed out characters. And I mean, I have thoughts on chapter 5 that'll come later, but um, I do really love the perspective shift that you utilize for chapter 5. Uh, it's it's really funny seeing how different the world is seen through like a character's lens that isn't the main character, and it's something that I feel like so many writers don't use. But then I think about ones that do use like changing perspectives, and it's if you want to build out your world, change the perspective of the character that the story is looking through. I, Anytime I think of a story or book series that where the perspective changes to a different character from the main character, it reveals so much more that you probably wouldn't have found out, or you would have had a much harder time to figure out if you just stay with the main character. Because I guess unless you're writing in a third person omniscient viewpoint, but if you're just going from the perspective of the main character, then you're only getting their point of view. You're only seeing things from their perspective. So seeing how Henry looks at the world versus how Anne views everything, and like just what he pays attention to, um, what he care like you can really get a feel for what he actually cares about. It's you did a fantastic job with chapter 5. I'll say that.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks. I really like chapter five. Honest. I agree. I think well, like I knew it's a very good idea to change the perspective. And and yeah, like that's this I can make the reader see the world in another way, right?
Hmm.
And I think that's very important. And uh, like there, I told you in the other edition that kind of failed, right? That my favorite like show or books of all the time, like that I most like is Game of Thrones, like a
Yeah.
Son of Ice and Fire, and yeah, they have a lot of point of views, right? It's
Yeah.
how they
I
write.
oh, keep going. There's something that I have a thought on that, but I'll write it down.
Uh-huh. And and yeah, like I kind of took some inspiration about it. Like I of course this won't be Game of Thrones. Like the next four chapters probably are about Anne, like in Anne's point of view. But yeah, I think it was a very good idea for this chapter. I think that if it was on Anne's mind, it would not be that interesting. I think she would like be pissed off at Henry, and she everything that she did in this chapter. I would just add some thoughts about, oh my god, Henry is so fucking annoying. She did that back in high school. Maybe I would review a little bit about the old school, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that with Henry, it's just so cool. It's really a change of protagonist that make it so much more fun because like it's more of a bully, you know.
Hmm.
So so yeah, like and, I really like chapter five. I think it was so good.
Yeah. I so I think the reason that the shift to Henry's perspective works so well is because you have four other chapters from Anne's perspective. Uh,
Mm,
so he, making sure that you don't break away from the main character too much is important. And that's kind of my problem with Game of Thrones, is that there's way too many perspectives. Uh, I
mhm,
I I think I still own the first book. It's probably I got it for I think as a Christmas gift one year, and I tried reading it, and like every single chapter, there's like 10 new characters introduced, and there's a
Yeah,
whole new
yeah.
perspective that I have to figure out, and
Oh man,
it's a lot to keep up with. So
man, like
you,
first book and sorry, I interrupted. My bad.
oh, that's I only got a little bit. So I think shifting perspectives is a very important tool, and it can be very handy sometimes, but it's also one that you should exercise caution with. It's not one that you should use all the time. I love the way you
Yeah,
used it here. I just hope you don't always use it.
yeah. Like I have said like I planning like the next four chapters with Annie, and maybe the tenth chapter will be with another character.
Yeah, that would be good.
Uh, yeah, but because I think it's interesting, I think it's a little bit of a breath of the air, you know?
Yep.
And yeah, like watching this chapter in Henry's mind, like he's like a guy, he's like always chasing girls, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He so he hits on her on her teacher, right? And I really don't think like until the end of the series you will see any hitting on, on someone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like like she's a girl, she's not really this kind of person, and so yeah, it's so different. It's cool. And I really like how it turned out. In just as talking about Game of Thrones, like Rick, it's not really like I understand like what you said, but it's a fun thing because season one of Game of Thrones show or the first book, man, everyone gets lost. No one knows the name of any character.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
because there's too
it's
many.
it's always like that, always like that. Like they use like nicknames for the characters.
Uh-huh.
Everyone does. Everyone. Like a lot of my friends watch it, and it's the same experience for everyone. No one knows the name of any
Yeah,
character.
that's
It's too many characters. It's like medieval fantasy, medieval weird names, you know.
yeah.
So yeah, like Tyrion, Bran. Like you, they you say those names and you just be like, what the fuck? I don't know anyone, and you forget about it.
Yeah. Well,
But
that's the thing with once you understand all the characters, and once you know like the relations between them, like once you get them all down, then it's no problem. But that initial learning curve is very high.
yeah, a little bit. But yeah, I think if you wanna watch the show maybe because then like the same problem will appear, but you also see a lot of peaks, you know. So maybe you won't care that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, it's all in the name of realism, right?
but yeah, I really like Game of Thrones. I think they do the different personages really well. I really like the show.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, going back to Henry, one of my favorite parts of chapter 5 is the little line of like his line of thought when he stops listening to Anne in the car, and then he starts remembering uh what's her name? Amanda? Yeah.
Amanda.
Yeah. And then it cuts off before he really gets going. Like that you do it
Yeah.
at least twice in chapter 5 where Henry's in the middle of something, and then it's like a record scratch, and we're cut back to reality. It those moments are really well done. I really enjoy them.
Yeah, he stops listening to Annie, and I didn't reread chapter one, in a while, but I think that happens in chapter one. Actually, I'm pretty sure. I think that sometime like Kenny speaks to him and he does not say anything. Like
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that happens. Yeah, I don't want to check right now, to be honest, but I check later. And yeah, man, like I feel like this too. Like like Aiden just complaining, he doesn't really care, so he just like thinks of something better. And he thinks
Mhm.
about like the girl he had sex last night, or just something completely random.
Yeah.
I think it's a good part of his personality. Like
Yeah.
he 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 just ignores his system.
Yeah. I mean, and so everything you've written for him so far feels like it's building him up for some major character arc where he grows up.
Hmm.
Is that something you have in mind, or is that do you have any future plans for Henry?
Yeah, I do, man. I do like yes, I do think he will grow up. Yeah, because I mean it's kind of a mission to him too, right? Because like now he's older, he has more things to do, but he kind of really needs to be a father to Annie right now, right?
Mhm.
And I think people naturally they naturally mature too,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, uh, I think that almost every character that I showed up so far will have some sort of character arc.
Very
Henry,
nice.
I can say
Very
that
nice.
certainly will do. Like he's a major character,
Yeah.
but I don't know characters like Fred, for example. Like they will appear again, but I don't know. Like maybe he will someday be mentioned that he's a porn like a porn move director. Like
Yeah.
this is not a huge character arc, but it's a ending for him.
Yeah. I mean, he is
He
a very
like
minor character.
yeah, exactly, man, exactly. And but yeah, like the Henry certainly not be the same. And yeah, I think that this chapter, yeah, it's kind of panning out, right?
Mhm.
That this chapter kind of um, made the floor, of how Henry is right now. Right? Because we can see in his mind like he's not immature. I don't say that, but it's the way he views certain things that will change.
Yeah, he's got some priorities to straighten out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Um. Oh, what? So, I mean, have you seen The Office?
Yeah, yeah. The entire show.
All right. Good. So, Anno Manhattan definitely feels very sitcom-y. It's got a very sitcom feel. Um,
Yeah,
and from watching at least a couple of sitcoms and not really enjoying any of them except for really The Office, I think one of the keys to making a sitcom that is timelessly enjoyable is to have subtle but noticeable character arcs over long periods of time. So the characters aren't just stagnant robots that do the same thing week in and week out. They slowly learn and grow over time. And you might not notice it just sitting back and watching progressively, but if you look at them from at the beginning and then at the end, they've changed drastically and you like
yeah, yeah.
that is those are the best character arcs.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That certainly happens in the ops, and also in the other shows that the creators of the Office do, like back in the Recreations too. I've never watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so I don't know. But yeah, because the office, Parks and Recreation, they kind of I don't even know if they are exactly a sitcom, to be honest, but
I think it
they are
is.
they are a comedy show, right?
Yeah.
And I think that they are different from the Big Bang Theory, Two and a Half Men.
Yeah, laugh track. That's the
So
difference.
yeah,
Doesn't have a laugh
last
track.
yeah, thankfully not. Like,
Yeah, you're allowed to laugh when you want to. Which
yeah,
in when
exactly.
I'm if I'm forced to watch Parks and Recreation, I just don't laugh. I've tried to watch. I've seen a couple episodes that just it's just not funny to me. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't work
Season
to me.
season one is very bad. Season one is very bad. Season two is not that good. Season three onwards is funny. So if you wanna watch just season three,
I don't know. I like there's
and
a
yeah, maybe you won't like it. That's fine.
I don't know.
But but yeah, like I think those shows they focus a little bit more on the characters,
Yes,
and I
definitely.
think I think I mean the Big Bang Theory kind of have, but uh, I don't know much. Like for example, Sheldon, the, he dates. I think he ends up married, some things like that.
I
But
think they
Two
do
and a Half
change.
Men, yeah, Two and a Half Men at least. I think no one really changed, man. Like Charlie and Alan were the same, like the entire show.
Yeah.
And I think that man, I love the show. Like, I think it's really fun. But yeah, they also really has that. How I Met Your Mother. Yeah, the things happen in their lives. The things about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Office is different.
Yeah.
I think they do that better. You can see personality traits a little better. Like is Michael is Michael Scott. There's no other way to describe him. Like he is very peculiar, but they also make it very clear, like that he has a kind heart.
Yep.
He goes to paint. He buys her painting. No one liked it. Says that the painting was really good. So yeah, things like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they
I
give
think
him
it made
that Michael Scott is a masterclass in writing a sympathetic terrible character. Like
yeah,
he
exactly.
really is he's not a good person, but they give you just little morsels here and there that make him so endearing.
Yeah, like he really cares for everyone in his office except for what's the name of the finance guy? I forgot right now.
Finance guy. Are you talking about
The,
accounting?
yeah, I think he's accounting. The guy that he does not like, it's Toby, right?
Yeah, Toby. That's
Yeah,
HR.
so yeah, he cares for everyone except the Toby. And yeah, he's kind of like makes hell for them. Like not because he wants, it's just how he's. But yeah, you really see that he cares a lot about them. He would not fire them at all.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think the show makes some good points about that.
absolutely. So going back to Anno Manhattan, you first posted in 2015, the middle of 2015, and then 8 years later, you decide to take another stab at it. Why did you decide to come back?
Hey, so I at first I have no idea why I stopped. I just lost interest in writing Freddy stories. Uh-huh. But yeah, I was thinking about again, writing stories again, and I wrote two, and always kind of became bored. Like I wasn't seeing really much why, you know,
Mhm.
and like write about fandom characters giving life to each other. Like it kind of tired me out quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I told you like I watched the podcast that you and Hans did about Anna Manhattan, and I kind of forgot like how much potential the story had because like Annie really seemed like an interesting character. Henry too, like it had a lot of it really had a lot of potential. The little world created I think the idea of it is starting with them in the car and with a memory like all those things that Henry did to me to like build up the relationship that he is a me or the brother gives her weddings. And I do think that male giving weddings to female is a little bit rare in Reggie stories. I don't see much.
Yeah,
I
and I don't know why.
yeah, I actually like when I don't remember when actually, but yeah, I think that when he contacted you again and you say like, "Oh man, we like Manhattan. Why you stop and coming back?" I had no idea that someone in the world was expecting me to come back to Manhattan.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Hey, someone liked the story," and I think I talk about that, but it was so far like from my head come back to the story that I just said like, "Oh man, no, no way, no way." And I searched on Look Fetish like any on Manhattan to see who mentioned it. And you did a couple of times, and some people asked for like can recommend any story that has sibling wedges. And like my story of an older brother giving a younger sister a wedge was one of the only ones in the site. Like I think it was my story in other two or just another one. And then so I thought like, hey, Dan, I like this dynamic, and apparently it's a bit hairy in the components. So so yeah, I thought about my story. I saw that it had a lot of potential, and I was very interested in her writing, in in really making any now that I'm a better writer than I think when I was a teenager. And writing, making any be a really complex character where I understand like about parental drama, like drama with
Mhm.
parents. I really understand like brother and sister relationships, things like that. Uh, I understand much more now.
Yeah, you've experienced more
So
life.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I saw the opportunity of like rewriting it to make something really cool, and I really like it how it turned out. I like I like the ideas that I have like with the wedges,
Mhm.
the all the little comments that I have in this chapter. I really like it how chapter one turning out, and like I just thought like, hey, I can continue, like
Mhm.
let's make it ends life wrong, right? So yeah, I had this new chapter, like chapter two. Then okay, let's go make him go to the school because he's in Omaha for that. And yeah, now she's on school and things are really flowing, right? I feel
Mhm.
like the chapter four, chapter five, it's like chapter three is the true beginning of the story,
Yeah.
And yeah, now I had chapter 4, chapter 5, and I'm really loving to write it. So I'm really glad that I came back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, chapter 4 and 5 are, now that you set up the foundation in the first 3 chapters, now you're starting to build on those foundations and you're seeing where you can go, and it's just getting better and better.
Yeah, 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 exactly, because in chapter 4, like I struggled a little bit with ideas, but yeah, I felt like this, that all right, chapter 3, I really had to invent a lot of stuff, I really had to, like you say, like make the foundation, like it's her first day in school, she will meet the school, so yeah, I really need to explain how the school works.
Yep.
Like she almost got a wedding in the first day, so that shows a little bit about the school, like
Yep.
weddings happen.
Not even
So
that she almost got a wedgie, but that multiple characters made a bet on who would do it.
exactly, yeah, yeah, and yeah, that's exactly that setups like some mean girls like exist
Mhm.
right there, and and yeah, like you say, it's a social currency, so a social coin like giving guarantees in this school. And all right, it's built. So let's go check for now. And that's the video of Cassie getting ready. She's crazy about it. So let's treat it. This
Mhm.
will be the top. And let's use the characters that I have. And I just wrote, and then like I was just setting things up to the audition, and I really like writing the audition. I think the Fred part was really funny.
Yes.
I really like it. Then the after Fred, like there is a very quick part with me.
Yep.
I did this part quickly on purpose because I don't think it would be that interesting. And yeah, then the audition came, and I think this chapter is so fun to write. Like the audition and Fred's part, it's very funny. Fred's part is very funny. I really like it. I really like to read it.
Yeah, I can definitely tell you had a lot of fun writing it. It comes across because it's a lot of fun to read it too.
Yeah, like I think what makes it fun to read, like, is just sometimes the dialogue in any story, not just read stories, but they are like previsible, or you just feel like a, a true character would not say that, you know.
Right.
And yeah, like of course I like to think of Anna Manhattan as a bit of comedy show, so yeah, a lot of absurd things happen, and Fred is totally absurd case, right?
Yeah.
And you just don't have any idea of what the text line is going to be, and like there's suddenly he just turned to Annie and said, "Hey, you don't have to be mad at me. I ain't in the love business." And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy saying, right? And
Well, I
you
mean,
see Anne's reaction. So,
yeah, Anne's reaction, I think, is really what makes it feel believable. Is like, yeah, you'll get some guys like that, but then you'll also have people who are going to react pretty negatively to it. It's you 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 have introduced some maybe out there things, but they're balanced out with very believable reactions and characters. So you haven't stretched anybody's uh, suspension of disbelief at all.
yeah,
Like,
I think that's part of what makes any good protagonist of the story too, because like everyone around Annie is so crazy. Like
mhm,
Sarah is crazy, Henry is crazy, Logan is crazy, but he's contained right now.
Maddie is
But he is
crazy.
crazy too. Yeah, Maddie is totally crazy. Like Cassie is crazy too,
Yeah.
and Mia is crazy too. So everyone like is crazy, is peculiar. You know, the nerds that I mentioned in chapter 3, they are crazy too. And Annie, she also is crazy actually. Like she has some mad ideas suddenly, but she has a rational line of thought. You know,
Yeah. She feels the most normal.
yeah, she feels the most normal. She's
I
like a
didn't.
normal person trying to survive in
Yeah,
it. You
I
know,
didn't. I wasn't thinking of her in this way before you started describing her like that, but she definitely does feel like an audience surrogate, like a stand-in for the audience. Where it's so easy to relate to Anne because she's the normal person surrounded by all this craziness. Like that's
yeah,
why so many people latch on to Jim in the office because he's the straight man amongst all of
yeah,
this
yeah, exactly. Jean is
craziness.
a perfect example of this kind of character.
Yep.
Like I remember the first RPG that I played was a Hajime no Ippo RPG, a boxing anime. I don't know if you know, but it's an anime that between the boxing fights, everyone is like fucking crazy. The author is not normal, man. Like the boxes in the free time, they just do dumb shit. It's a very funny manga.
Yeah.
And when I played this RPG with my friends, we did the same thing. Like I was playing with two other friends. Like I had one friend that was a master and two other players, and I was a player too. And my character was the normal one. He was a guy that really wanted to go boxing, you know.
Mhm.
And my other two friends, man, they were playing like and they were playing like crazy. Their characters made no sense. They just did dumb shit. One of my friends, he got arrested two times in the in the RPG.
Really?
His character, like he got arrested two times, and like all those like it was so funny to play that with my friends. And I think that my character, it made the characters more funny, you know.
Absolutely. It
Because if everyone there was crazy, it would not be as funny.
no.
Because the world or would you know people like when you take this crazy guy in front of a serious person, that's when it's funny, you know?
Yeah,
Like
that's
let the crowd do its job, right?
yep, that is the classic comedy duo is the crazy guy and the straight man.
Yeah,
You need the straight
exactly.
man
Like
because you need somebody who can who you can laugh about the
yeah,
craziness with.
yeah, totally. It's always like one guy gets pissed off, and the other one like it's laughing. You know, he
Uh-huh.
won't, right? And yeah, that's classic comedy. That's true. And
Yeah.
Anne is kind of like that. Yeah, she's kind of the
Yes.
genie of the story.
Absolutely.
That's definitely.
Yeah. You know, I the audition is so fun going back to that because it just feels like three friends having a good time.
Yeah, totally. Like I think Maddie is very funny in this scene.
Yeah.
I really like Cassie. Like
She's
she's this
becoming one.
annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's this annoying girl that is easy to like to tease, you know. But she's there, right? She's like she likes Maddie, you know. She's there with Annie. You see that Annie kind of Cassie. She sticks up with Annie easily, you know. She doesn't
Uh-huh.
have that much friends and things like that. I think she's a cool character. She's an interesting character,
Yeah.
and yeah, Matt is just like teasing the hell out of her, and and yeah, they don't know what to do, and Annie just tries to ruin everything Maddie really tries to to pass the audition. Cassie
Yeah.
tries to, but she just can't. She's the worst actor ever. And in the end, like it all works, right? Because
Yeah.
for me, they they ruining everything on purpose. It was supposed to be bad, right?
Yep.
But so yeah, I really like it. I really like to write it. Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so good.
Cassie feels like the kind of character who's going to become more enjoyable the more she's in the story. Like she's going to grow on you. And I
Yeah, sure, sure.
mm,
I think I was thinking about it. Like I don't think I was able to really explain too much about her personality. But like we say, I think that dialogue will do a lot.
yes.
So, for example, I've mentioned that people think she's super annoying and spoiled. You can see that in the chat, but yeah, you can also see that she's kind of fun to be around. She laughs. She gave a wedge to him, and she Mary was teasing her, and she does not hate Mad or anything, so she can't take a joke. She's not that annoying,
Right.
at least not in this sense. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Cassie's a fun character.
She seems like she'll be a fun person to have in the friend group
Yeah, so
once she and Anne become cool.
yeah, yeah.
Maddie, on the other hand, she does remind me of other characters like Erica from um oh god no, that's Lucy and Daniela. Um, and then
Hmm.
who is the I can't remember her name from Luckily Unlucky. Um, but that super peppy, happy go lucky girl that nothing
Yeah,
bothers them. It is a pretty common character in the community, but it is always a fun one. Like that's a character I never mind seeing in stories. Like
yeah, for sure, man.
they
Kind
always
of.
provide just fun dynamics and fun situations to explore.
Yeah, she's like you know that girl who Kelly. No, it's not Kelly from the Office. It's the no. There is two
I
Kellys,
think
right?
yeah,
In
yeah, I
the
think
Office.
well there's
Yeah,
Kelly Aaron who only goes by Kelly for like the first two episodes that she's in the show, and then Kelly Kapoor.
yeah, Kelly Erin. I mean her. She's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
like Mary.
Yep.
She's kind of like Mary.
Absolutely.
And I character like that too is Kel from Kenna and Kel. You know,
Oh, I don't think I know that one.
really Kenna and Kel.
Yeah.
Oh man, oh, uh, maybe I pronounce it right. Let me send it to you.
I mean, I haven't really seen much. I haven't watched TV in years, and I don't really. Even when I did, I didn't really watch much.
Oh man, Kenna and Kel is so huge. But but yeah, Kel is like the Zay head guy,
Yeah.
just like Harry, like he's always happy. Man is like that, She's always
Yes.
happy. She does not think much,
Mm-hmm.
She yeah, she just does what she wants, She does not get pissed off at people.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, Fred, like she does not care that he makes porn,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
she's okay with it. She doesn't really have an opinion.
yeah, yeah. She takes
And
his number, like she's gonna
yeah,
use it. Ah, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
But it all of these crazy characters work because you have the contrast of Anne.
Yeah, I think they stay on the floor. If Annie was not around, like it would seem like Mary could be so much crazier. The world,
Yeah.
like if Annie was not around. the world could be much more unrealistic, you know.
Yep.
Not the best word, I think, but
And keeps things
like,
grounded.
yeah, the world could be much more cloudy, you know,
Yes.
like, and yeah, and it stays makes things stay grounded. Like, no, this is actually like a normal world, you know. Like, and is trying to be normal. She does not understand what the fuck is going on. Like, what the fuck? Why is this guy filming cheerleaders in front of me? Like, and I want to get the hell out of here. This is not normal, you know.
Yeah.
But they imagine like she just get his number. Like he's such a normal guy. I
Hmm.
like him. I don't care.
Yeah.
And
What? Oh, I had a thought and it just went away. Oh, that's so annoying. Uh, I mean, I don't remember. Well, so Fred, he gets such a small amount of time in the chapter, but he feels so fleshed out. Like he is such a minor character, but he has a legitimately interesting motivation and reason for existing in the world. And I hope he comes
yeah,
around a little bit here and there. Having those minor characters with motivations, it makes such a huge difference for making your world feel real and vibrant. It's something that I love about the Harry Potter series. I mean, you have characters like the Patil twins or Lavender Brown who just
yeah,
randomly
and
show
they
up from time
appear.
to time, and then they
Yeah,
get a handful of major
and
plot points, but they're not major characters, but they pop in every now and again just to let you know that yeah, things go on outside of what we're seeing and the world is lived in. It's real.
yeah, and like they, if you see the Patil twins, they always appear when like they are, for example, in that ball party in the fourth book, you know.
Uh-huh.
So, for example, in like everyone's a teenager, so romance like he's just crazy in that age, and like the Pavel twins, it's exactly like that. They just appear and it's time for gossip, you know. It's like potential potential relationship things like that, and yeah, that man, I think that's so good. Like,
Yeah.
for example, that Fred. Like, makes no sense for him to appear on chapter 5. Probably will make no sense for him to appear on a chapter where, I don't know, if there's a chapter focused on any and the nerds, for example, then Fred will probably not appear. But for
maybe
example, you can,
maybe maybe one of them is buying a video from him.
yeah, exactly. He can, exactly. He's exactly like that, man.
Yeah.
He can appear in a chapter like that. E if there's some plot involving him, it easily can happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
you like you nail how how my mind works. You know, with having all
Yeah.
those
I mean,
like when I introduce those characters, I feel like I have a lot of tools to make a chapter. You know,
yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yep, that's exactly what it you have all these different tools and some of them make sense to use, some of them don't. Some of them make more sense to use more often, some of them make sense to use less. Yeah, that's
yeah,
exactly it.
exactly. For example, in chapter 4, like what happened with Fred? You know, they my mind like what why I created him. I was creating it too, you know, and it was the perfect time to introduce such a funny character, right?
Mhm.
Like you say to me like you really liked his participation, but so fun. So that's his job in chapter 4. I have this time to introduce this guy, and he he will do a great participation in chapter 4. So my readers will like him. They will like the chapter more. And now that he's introduced, I just getting Onuma 2 to use in the future. And I won't have to introduce it him again. That's important. And and yeah, man, it's just like you said, I just can make a chapter go much more crazy. Now that I have this video guy that he is a ninja
Hmm.
to film girls. He he's not a huge widow, right? But he does not have such a moral code too, you know.
Yeah.
So
But
it's a different character.
he does get the consent of the girl, so it's perfectly fine. Like
Yeah,
he's paying them. They're getting just as much a cut as he is. So
but
I think it's
exactly
pretty
because
fair.
you know, for example, I can say that like this shows about like high school America. Of course, cheerleaders will be involved, like the wedge community. Everyone loves cheerleaders, and like Fred has contacts with the cheerleaders, so it's only one thing that will be interesting to to use, right?
Hmm.
And yeah, for example, in chapter 5, I just mentioned it on my thing too, that Henry actually works in the same company as Ethan, right?
Yeah.
And that's actually something that I will talk more about in chapter 6
Oh, good. You're gonna follow up
because
on a little detail like that. That's awesome.
yeah, because like a little spoiler, I was gonna say that
A teaser.
it yeah, Ethan's like a nerd, like he was literally hanging out with the others, with the other nerds in chapter 3. But every popular guy, people like that, they really like him, and he's not like a nerd at all. They don't see him like that
Hmm.
because he works on a motor cars company, so they think like he's kind of cool, like they can talk about cars with him, and he's pretty too, like very pretty. So appearance like change things, change
Yeah.
perspectives, and yeah, like girls like him, things like that. And he does not speak like a nerd too, so he's kind of charismatic, and yeah. So that in that way, I kind of I already introduced a little bit with Henry, and that's a thing. But another thing too is that I don't know. Let's say that Annie will visit Ethan in the motorcars company. She'll see Henry there.
Yep.
So exactly, these little details and using them to mount a chapter.
Yeah.
It's really 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 fun. That's why I love
Foreshadowing.
to have it. Yeah, that's why I love to have different characters, like a little small world of characters. I Of course, a story does not have to be like that. It can be just focus on two characters.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Um, but this kind of history, I really like doing, and I do think that it's kind of my forte. It's kind of my
Hmm.
strength. I
Yeah.
really like to do it, and yeah, I write the stories myself too.
Yeah.
I really like to read the stories like that too.
Yeah. That's I think that's what I think people should do. Is create the content that they want to see.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have said, like I reread my stories to read the dialogue, and I have fun.
Yeah.
But because like I had fun writing it too.
Hmm.
So yeah, just he read like I read the Fred part and just like, hey, what the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So
with Fred, I hope you bring him back. But I mean, I thought of an even better example from Harry Potter, Ernie Macmillan. He's just this Hufflepuff student that you sometimes see. Like the trio has herbology with him, and sometimes they have potions with him, and then in the fifth book, he becomes a prefect. You don't see him become a prefect, but the next time you see him in that book, he is a prefect. Like
yeah,
the key to making the background characters feel real is change, in my opinion. Like, have they changed at all from the last time we saw them. And I think that
Yeah,
is something that keeps people coming back is seeing how the characters grow or how they change. Like I think of when I think of someone like Saseda's writing. Yeah, it is really good writing, but I basically know exactly what to expect every single time. So it's not really that interesting to go back and reread, or I know I can probably skip a couple stories and not really miss anything. Whereas something like Anno Manhattan, every chapter is different. People are changing, people are growing, new characters are coming in, old characters are doing different things. It's
yeah,
much more
there is
engaging.
more, yeah, more of a narrative, more of a and things. I mean, I didn't read everything of Cecita, but yeah, in my opinion, it's more like, and he's not the only one who writes like that.
No, but
He's
he's the
more
most recognizable.
focused on the fetish, right?
Yes.
So, for example, he writes about, I don't know, Game of Thrones. He'll make a history focused on Daenerys giving wedges to Miss Sunday, and Miss
Well,
Sunday is like a very hot girl in the show,
well,
and Daenerys too, of course.
the one that he did,
Two very,
the one that he did
mhm.
for that is the servant giving Daenerys the atomic wedgie. I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
that
yeah,
story. Oh yeah, that's a
yeah,
really good
exactly,
story. I know that
yeah,
one.
exactly, exactly. And it's Miss Sunday the second, and yeah, like it's very focused on the wedges, I think.
Yes.
Like I don't think the dialogue is that good, but it's fun to write, to read. And but yeah, it's focused on the wedges, the fetish, like it's very fetishizing. So like the Daenerys asking her servant to give her a atomic wedge, like, and I think it's really good. Like what he is planning to do, it's really really good. But yeah, all these stories that I really like, I think they have this narrative vibe, and they
Yeah.
have this little bit touch of like realism. So,
Mhm.
for example, it's not impossible for someone in one Manhattan to get a flagpole wedding. It's not impossible. But if it happens, I really try to make it seem like the most real as possible. So for example, if someone gets a flagpole wedding in any Manhattan, someone you probably help this the poor guy, because you're not in Simpsons, right?
Yeah.
So the poor
Well,
guy, the poor girl, and like Principal Dave will be crazy, like he'll be running to as soon as he knows what he did, and teachers will find out really
yeah.
quickly because
Oh
it's a
yeah.
flagpole wedding. And so yeah, like I try to write in the most realistic way possible.
Yeah.
So a flagpole wedding happening, it's really realistic. Like like it's such a crazy idea to give someone a flagpole wedding that it's not that realistic, but yes, it is a fetish story. It is a story that is a little bit absurd. Like in chapter 5, I had like a lawyer wedgie fight, That's not realistic. But yeah, we're here for the fun. But so I think that's okay. But the kind of write that I like the most, I think that you get the situations and try to make that to give them the most sense as possible, right? So, like returning to the flagpole example, someone can get a flagpole wedge, but teachers will find that quickly. And
Yeah, teachers are actually
it,
effective. They're not completely useless like they are in Wedgie stories.
exactly, exactly, and they really try to know who did it. The person who did it will be very in in trouble, you know, and like everyone will have a negative opinion of the person who bought the wedge, like she'll be humiliated, right?
Yep.
But like things will also change to the person who gave the wedge. So, for example, I think that I kind of did that to Annie, because she gave Cass the wedge in the video, on the video, and like people are looking to her, they're laughing, they don't like. She didn't become a super cool girl. Like people are not venerating her, they don't really like her more because she gave Cassie the wedge. She gained a lot of negative attention, right? They look at Annie and they talk about the wedge that Cassie got.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, I think that this is a good example. And Cassie, of course, she's completely humiliated. Like people talk about the wedge she got in the corridor. There's a video around,
Yeah.
and it's just like treat her bad because of it.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah, with Annie, I think I really show it. Like so all those kind of things like they go around,
yeah.
and that's what I expect, to do.
Mhm. Yeah, this Anno Manhattan feels like a story with wedgies as opposed to a wedgie story. I a while back, Hans and I talked about the way we sort of created this delineation between stories that focus on wedgies, like they are the main thing. The story really wouldn't make any sense without them, and stories that focus on the story, on the narrative. And wedgies are still very present, but they're not the main focus. Those are
Yeah,
the kinds of
exactly.
stories I like the most. I like actually having a good story. So like once I'm taken care of in the fetish regard, then I keep reading because it's a legitimately interesting story to read, not just something to get off to.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I think it's absolutely that, right? The there are histories that are focused on ladies. I think they are done. They're just like so people can get off, like you said.
Yeah, I mean it's a fun time. You have a
And
good time reading it, and then all right, you're done.
yeah, exactly, because like the more they are well done, I think the better you have fun with reading, to get off. And yeah, then I think the some stories are more about the plot and more about building the characters.
Hmm.
And wedges are a very they happen a lot in that world because like in some words they really do. Like I've heard of some schools like that. There are like schools in the 2000s that had daily wedges. It's not any school, but yes, there were like wedges happening a lot because it was a part of that small world, and so it's not really unrealistic to do that. For example, hanging wedges. Hanging wedges are a very harsh kind of wedge. You
Yeah,
don't see them any time, but girls like a girl got a hanging wedge before. Someone thought about hanging a girl by her underwear. And it's in some school, like in the road, it certainly happened. Like there is a I don't know hair, but a picture, a wedgie picture of like this guy. He's holding a girl by her tongue, like she's his backpack.
yeah,
It's like a massive wedge, like a huge wedge, and bro, like it happened. Doesn't it's very hard to happen. Like a guy grabs a girl by her tongue, wears with like a backpack, but it happens. So yeah, sometimes like in the area, wedges are very common, right? And And yeah, when the story is focused on the plot and where it is happening in it, I think it's so much more interesting to, because if if it's a fleshed out character getting a wedge, I feel it's so much more interesting.
Yeah,
I
you care about the
feel
character getting the wedgie. That's so much. You got. It's such a big part of it. You got to care about them because
yeah,
then you care
the
that they're getting
humiliation.
embarrassed or dominated or they're doing.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
The humiliation feels true, you know.
Yes,
The
it feels
humiliation
real.
is real, exactly. And and like I've seen some legend stories without much plot that this character gets a hanging edge in the middle of the school, and with the way it's reading, it just seems so normal, man. Like I I don't know. I think like if the story was really like realistic, with the way hanging, being hung by her underwear in the middle of school is so normal. I think people would not even feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
And like my, they describe things like the character staying in a hanging edge for 3 hours straight.
Yep.
So man, so I don't see a reason to feel embarrassed.
With
You're
five
there
different
for
pairs of
three.
underwear.
You are there for 3 hours, man,
Yeah.
and it probably does not hurt that bad too if you're there for 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
So, so yeah, uh, it's exactly like uh,
Yeah. I mean, if you
I
want.
think that some I think that the character just I won't feel embarrassed for the character. I won't feel like the situation is real. Now, some stories that I read, I think that in this more realistic world, I read the story, I read the words, and I think, man, like this is good, because I feel like I can project this story like in the real world, you know,
Hmm.
like it's in some way, it's kind of like a scene. Someone in real life mentioned that she got a wedge. Like it's like I don't know the right word now, but it feels like a true story. It feels
Yeah.
like
Like it could have actually happened. And that
yes,
is so
exactly,
much
exactly.
more, so much
If
more
someone,
attractive.
yeah, if someone told me without saying that it is a wedge story, I could believe it. And
Yeah.
yes, exactly. I can imagine it. I can project it. And
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Which goes hand in hand with male and female wedgies and the lack of those. I don't know why we have such a lack of those in the community because I want to be the one doing it. So I want to project myself on the guy giving the girl a wedgie.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's a yeah. That's kind of. I think that's kind of the the strong part about Henry giving Annie a wedge too, because you can really see that he's the dominant one,
Yeah.
and it's a sibling relationship. It's not made to be this kind of dominant,
Right. Well, yeah, I
but
wouldn't
it's
want to be the
still
brother in that situation. I just want to be a guy. But yeah,
yeah.
that's
But
yeah.
yeah, you have the fat, of course, but like it's a good example of male to female wedge,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it's like it has his charm, like if a guy really wants to give a girl a wedge, he probably will, because guys are naturally stronger than girls, right? And but at the same time, it's a bit of a taboo. Guys are not supposed to give girls wedges. Yeah, they are supposed to keep their hands away.
Yeah.
But but if you really are friends with the person, like sometimes they play fight a lot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the case with him.
Hmm.
He has his younger sister, which he torments. He has Sarah, which he kind of torments, but she also torments her. So they play fight a lot.
Yep.
And yeah, the wedges that I mentioned for him from this point, they are like that. But he would totally like wedge a girlfriend too, or something like that. That's something that will much probably happen sometime in the story too. So yeah, I really like it. Males giving females wedges. I think it's really good. It's probably I don't know if I prefer that than girls giving girls wedges.
I
I
prefer
don't think
it.
I inclined to say that I do because, for example, you know, like Lucky Fetish, the actual fetish story, right? That Lucky is the owner and he did the wedgie videos.
Yep.
And man, the videos that Lucky give Kimberly Jane wedges, they're so good, man. They're so
Yes.
good. The wedges are hard, you know. You feel like he's the dominant one,
Yeah,
like that.
they're from their first person perspective, so you can pretend you're the one doing it.
Yeah, I remember the first person too, but I talk even from third person perspective. Like because for example, sometimes you see Kimberly Jenny like squeaming, you know, she tries to kind of run away and like just puts her in place, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think man, he really did something like really right in that situation. I think he really nailed his job. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a guy giving rest. And
Yeah.
yeah, I really like it, man. Like I say, Henry has this part of like tormenting his sister. He play fights with his best friend. He also probably has those two parts too, like wedging his girlfriend and certainly like he's just giving a shy girl a wedding.
Uh, I keep forgetting. If you want a good, like a fantastic example of a hanging wedgie working really well in a story, read Luckily Unlucky. It's got the best flagpole wedgie I've seen.
Oh, yeah, yeah, no, you recommended it to me. I
Yeah,
will read someday, but it's really
read
hard
it.
now. No,
It is one of the best in the community. It's you gotta read it.
oh, I
Oh
will, I will, but it's really hard nowadays, man. Like I know I look like I don't do anything with my life because I'm always playing Counter Strike too. But that's my friends like bugging me to feel for them, so we can have a full lobby. You know, when
yeah.
I'm not playing Counter Strike, I do cheats like I'm working. You know, like
Mhm.
or studying. I'm crazy on time to write chapter 4, chapter 5. I kind of put some things late. You know.
Yeah.
But it worked because I was really feeling inspired and I had a lot of ideas, you know, done. So, for
Yeah.
example, if I wanted to write chapter 6 right now, I would not be able to write it in just one day because I am still figuring out the ideas, you know. I'm
Mhm.
still figuring out, like, okay, like the order of how things you go on. I always do that first, like the order of what will happen in this chapter. Like Annie will go here, she will do that, she'll do that, she'll do that, she'll meet this guy will do that, this guy will do that. And then I flesh out the chapter, like I really make the dialogue, things like that. And yeah, chapter 6 it's not it's it's far away from this point. But man, hanging magic, like yeah, I think about it's like I said, there is uh, this thing we said, you know, that some hanging mags just don't seem embarrassing at all. Like no point in them being
Yeah.
embarrassed. But both, I feel like hanging wedges, atomic wedges, they all are kind of like that, like the way sometimes they are written. Man, I really like them in stories,
Yeah,
because I think that if you do them well, man, they are so embarrassing. Like
they're the yeah,
you,
they're the best if you do them right. You gotta have to build up to them though. You have to build up to them.
yeah, exactly. Because being hung by your underwear, you're helpless. You're in pain,
Yeah, yeah,
and everyone you laugh at you because it's a ridiculous scene. And Atomic Wedge is kind of the same thing too. Like you just got a gigantic wedge. It's displayed for everyone to see. Like you're in the last stage of the wedge, and it's funny to see you like you kind of with a underwear helmet. So these extremes, these extreme examples of wedges, I really like them.
yeah, yeah. The the crazy over the top wedgies like hanging at atomic. I, they are kind of overused and undervalued because they're overvalued because of that.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
there's they're a special thing. They should like they signify something very massive, and if you just use it without building up or really fleshing it out, then it's feels like you're wasting it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. You're totally right, man. Like I think there are two amazing examples of really humiliating wedges. But yeah, like the way sometimes people use them, I don't think they use the max potential.
No, they didn't earn it.
And yeah, like just imagine, like if you see like someone getting an atomic wedge in the middle of the playground, that will be so fucking fun,
That's yeah,
So
that's a wild thing to have to see happen.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Everyone will talk about it, and the person like she won't know what to do. Like she'll be on that ridiculous underwear over her head.
Yeah,
And yeah, hanging wedge is kind of the same thing too. Like the person's like helpless there.
yeah. So you've only written 5 chapters so far, but do you have a favorite character from the ones you've introduced?
Hey, sorry, I had to close my door.
Oh
Can
yeah.
you repeat it?
So you haven't gotten very far with Anno Manhattan yet. You've written only 5 chapters, but out of those 5, do you have a favorite character?
So when we had the other podcast, I say that it was probably Annie, and just 2 chapters came out then. Now with 5 chapters, I don't know. I was pretty sure that it was Annie, but now the competition is probably more between Annie and Sarah. And I really really like Henry now. Really 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 like. I think this chapter 5 was, man. It was kind of like when this character just get his gold episode.
Uh-huh.
It's like I don't know. For you like Bleach, for example, like it's in Ichigo comes out of his training and he just destroy Aizen. And so like if you like Ichigo, you like him way more after this episode, right?
Yeah.
And and yeah, I really like him now. But I don't think he's my favorite character. I think it's either Sarah or Annie. I think
Okay.
Sarah's really fun, man. Like she's really wide, you know. It's
Yeah.
when I'm writing her, I feel like I can make her do almost anything. You know?
Yeah.
And it's really fun to have a character like that. Like his part with the late man. How you pronounce it? Lawyer? I think it's lawyer, right?
Who?
And like a person who does law, like yeah, attorney.
I'm not sure.
Like let me write for you.
Okay.
Like this word.
Oh, a lawyer.
Yeah, lawyer. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, this small lawyer fight. Man, it was so funny to write. Like the small background that I gave, you know, that this person hates Sarah's dad, and she just goes ham on Sarah.
Hmm.
It's the first part where I think a character is really submissive in the wedge,
Yeah. It
like purposive, like on purpose, submissive.
Yeah.
Because Annie is made to submit by Henry in chapter 1, but she does not really wants to. And now Sarah, she really needs to stay still, you know. And I really like this part of the chapter. And she's always like he throwing hand on Max, like she's suddenly filming Annie's butt. This is a part that I really like too, that she's just passing Annie, and then Henry just goes and pulls her breast there.
Yeah. I
I Yeah, it's probably any of Sarah next. What's your favorite
well,
character?
before I say mine, um I do want to comment on the thing with Sarah is I really like that you had Sarah just accept it because it provides so much depth to her character. Like everything else has been her just not giving a fuck and doing whatever she wants, and now we're seeing her, and now we get to see her face the consequences of her actions and be smart and humble. Like it's gives so much depth to her. I think it's fantastic. I I I did say Anne before on the failed recording, but I think after really analyzing the story and really scrutinizing what I enjoy, I think it's probably Maddie.
Man, yeah, man, it's really fun.
Yeah, she is just a great character. I don't
Yeah,
she's one of those characters that I feel like I probably wouldn't like that much if she was a real person and I actually had to interact with her, but being able to see her from afar is really fun. Like
yeah,
you probably hate to actually have Michael Scott as your boss, but seeing
yeah.
him in a TV
Watching him,
show is really funny.
uh,
It's great. It's a really good time. I kind of feel that way
yes,
about
yes.
Maddie.
Yeah. I think she's great, totally, you know. And I mean, I think the audition, man. The three of them, I think they are so good in the audition. Like Cassie, like so being the worst actor ever, and just being his nerdy self, you know, like nervous. And I really like Annie in the scene because I really like it, and she's just like take the rules, you know.
Mhm.
She just thinks like, man, fuck this, I will ruin this thing. She does not tell anyone that, and like her dialogue in this scene, I think it's so fun too. Like the brother part, like when Maddie says like, no, Annie's brother is hot too, and she's not crying about it. She's like,
Yeah.
man, my brother does not exist in this universe, so something like that. I I really like Annie this scene, and Maddie's so funny too.
Yeah.
And the thing that you said about Sarah is that, and yeah, I think that I kind of mentioned it. I think that his dad was he had family was they she has family in Manhattan, like the house is from her family, and they are there. They have a good amount of money. I think I mentioned that her father was a lawyer. A lawyer. I don't remember, but
Yeah. You
yeah,
do.
like if you like if your father is a lawyer, you kind of like all the dumb shit that she did in high school. He probably supported like her from not being expelled, probably, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a small background, you know. And yeah, like that comes back now. Like she's in law school, she's still trying to do dumb shit, but
Mhm.
it totally beat back on her, like from a rival from her dad, and more like a rival from her now, right? Because apparently her dad does not think she's, you know, does not think she's that great of a lawyer, right? She hates her dad, like, and man, it was so fun, like the relationship between those characters was so nice to write.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really cool to see. It's always fun to see uh characters that aren't the main character having relationships with characters other than the main character.
Yeah, yeah.
It
And
makes
it's
it
nice to
fleshes
see
out the
like
world,
the
makes it feel more real.
exactly because for example, so Sarah has this rivalry with Cassie Small, So Sarah can sometime meet Cassie, maybe.
Yeah.
And it will be interesting when she learns that Cassie is the daughter of the woman who gave her away,
Yeah.
And yeah, things like uh, small connections like that, like uh, it's really fun writing this story. I and I feel so glad that you and now, yeah, all of the guys who spoke to me before, they commented
Yeah.
in
Yeah, you
chapter 5 is Zachary. He spoke to me since chapter 1. He talked to me,
yeah, you're getting some fans.
and yeah, yeah, exactly. He always told me that he likes the story. And Tiger Woods too. In he commented in 2 chapters. There is one guy that asked me a question too about Sarah because I say that she looks like Summer Rae. So he
Yeah.
asked me like,
Well,
"Oh, so who the other characters look like?" And I say like, if I talk about a famous actor or actress, I don't really know. Like, some face come to mind. Maybe I'll try to like
well,
look for some models online and
what
try to
I'd
show people.
what I'd recommend is just trying to describe them rather than saying a specific um actress. Like,
Yeah,
I would much prefer to just have some description of the character and then picture them myself.
yeah, I think that's kind of the magic, right? I think so, but I don't know. I kind of like to think that like if I can show people like the perfect face that I think in my mind, I will.
Okay. Yeah.
I yeah,
More power to you.
I like that because I think the description, and the face it goes much beyond description, right? It's really hard to nail someone's face in perfect, you know. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, like this Tiger Woods guy and Zachary, they spoke to me, and I told you like in the episode. that didn't work out, did not work out. Uh, man, like I always wrote for just some people, right? So so yeah, like when you say that I really like the story, I was so happy.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
Like I really happy like to talk about about the story with you here. Like it's not really something about like me feeling, how can I say, it's not because it is my story, you know. It's because like man, I have so much fun writing.
Yeah.
I write it for myself, you know.
Hmm.
I I really like how things come out, and to be able to like discuss like those characters that I create with someone else that really I try to like understand them, and they also have so much fun with them. It makes me so happy, man. Like I can even say, and yeah, Tiger Woods he commented like, and let me read his exact. Actually, can you read it? Like
Sure.
it's in chapter 3,
Oh, chapter 3. Okay.
because like we'll be able to pronounce it perfectly.
Well, while I'm
Yeah.
finding it, I I've worked with Tiger Woods uh on a
Oh,
story. I don't
really?
know if you've read it. It's a fundamental discovery. I posted it back in 2020.
Oh, really nice. Like I
Yeah.
seen his gallery and there's nothing. So,
Now, well,
uh,
I wrote the story, and I worked with him to really figure out like the ideas for it, and
mhm.
editing, and making sure that it was really written very well.
Oh,
Um,
nice, man.
so this is his comment. This is on chapter 3 of Anna Manhattan. Love this story. It's rare to find something so down to earth and fun and realistic. Love the banner and conversation. Hoping for maybe a spanking or swirly to go along with wedgies in the future. I also love the descriptions given about what the girls are wearing. I actually googled knife pleated skirt because I wanted to know what to picture in my head. Bravo. Easily the best stuff I've read in years on this site, and I've read it all. And I believe that he reads a vast majority of the stuff. He's very active. So, yeah.
Yeah, nice to have this feedback, right? For my
Yeah.
ego.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
so
it is nice to have
uh,
the positive feedback. That is fantastic. But it is also
uh,
really good to have the constructive criticism. That's also important.
yeah, totally. So
And
that
that's
like,
something
of
that's hard
course,
to get in the community, is actual constructive criticism.
for real. So the like this part, like the best stuff I read in years on the side, of course, like I got really happy
Of course.
to hear that, because like I it makes me feel good, right? So my story is
Yeah.
actually good.
Yes, it's
Like
motivating.
yeah, exactly. And but yeah, like it's so nice, man, how people can catch the grasp of the story, right? Like so down to earth and fun, realistic. And yeah, like it's so really what I try to do, right? Like I feel like what we have said like multiple times here already, but yeah, so we can feel like it can happen in our world,
Yeah.
and yeah, like seeing someone enjoying it, like man, it makes me so happy, dude. Like makes me. I even offered him my Discord to chat exactly because of that. Like, I really like to hub like people opinions about it. Like, hey man, so what do you think of Henry? You know, so uh, I really like it. Man. Really motivates me.
Yeah.
And yeah, like this SKSO guy that asked for part 4, he also commented on chapter 5, so he's also reading. You know?
Mhm.
So yeah, uh, another guy, right? I don't think he he made that much of a comment,
But it's
but no,
something,
I
you
think
know? It's something.
yeah, he's the one who asked if Sarah looks like Summer Rae,
Yeah. He's
and this
engaging.
song.
That's so
Yes, that he's
important.
engaged, man. Engaged. So
Yeah.
so yeah, dude. Like when I do RPG, right? For example, I it's so nice to see people having fun with my RPG. They like the plot, you know.
Mhm.
They like the plot twist. Like they feel sad if a character die.
Yeah.
They feel sad if their character dies. How because like RPG has more fights, right?
Yeah.
So if the characters come close to death, like they feel threatened. All this experience, right? It's so cool, man. It's so cool to share that with someone, right? In any of Manhattan's case, it's like not a person to person experience like RPG, but so yeah, it's like I'm throwing the characters there, I throw the situations, and man, I have so much fun writing, and I I love to be able to discuss it with people, right? Like for example, Tiger Woods commented that he loved so much the Sarah Carey thing. And yeah, man, that part's so good. The personal the personal trouble, the personal fight between them, and it's really cool to write this kind of story. I'm so glad that you uh, more people like me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
There's just so much to love here. It is a fantastic story.
yeah, thanks, man, thanks. It's kind of fun, like because I think the first Inner Manhattan, the one that you rented, it it kind of had those elements already, right?
Yeah, it did.
Like a very dialogue focused and kind of down to earth, right?
Mhm.
Like I remember, I think that was the strong point. But Henry, like he steals Annie's notebook, and there is a whole sequence about Annie getting back. I I think it felt like a very realistic teasing, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, like it was there. It was there, and we did not had like it. It was just in Henry at that time.
And the cardboard cutout that's Logan.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
had no
Logan, for
dialogue.
real.
He didn't do anything, but yeah, he
Yeah,
was
he didn't
there.
know. Yeah, he didn't know anything. That's true.
But he was
He was
there.
just there being pretty, right?
Yep, that's all it was, but he was there, so
He was just there, and yeah, that's true. So, but yeah, man, uh, like I said, people read the story, people laugh, people they have fun, like reading the dialogue,
yeah.
and be able to discuss kind of things. Like I'm just so happy that I write the story again, and it's working, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually I was able to make something good because it could not work out, you know. It's,
Yeah. Um, I think you're creating something that only you can, and people are recognizing that there's a really good story here, and I hope more people do because it is a it's a really well written story, and I'm really excited to see where you go with it.
yeah, man. To be honest, like I kind of feel like I really wish I could be writing right now.
Yeah.
That's how much I like writing the story. It's so fun. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Like to because when I'm brainstorming like this story, I come out like with the things like at the time, right? So, for example, it's like I said, the audition was so funny to write. Because yeah, it was fun to me, like to keep you thinking about the all the crazy ideas that happen. Yeah. And I really I feel so happy that you guys had fun reading it. I hope that you could feel the same that I really love the audition, man. So nice.
Yeah. Well, is there anything anybody that you'd like to shout out, or any works that you've read recently that you'd like to call out for anything?
Sorry, I didn't really understand.
Is there anything that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Mm, I mean, I don't know about giving a shout out. I think I can speak about like when will any Manhattan end, things like that, because just so people can know. And what like I expect it to end kind of when high school ends, right?
Hmm.
So we were talking about like you can see that I ain't always saying the day, like 23 of September, things like that. It will probably end like July, May of the next year, right? And man, like the way I made the roadmap, like the days, what will happen in the next chapters. Halloween was chapter. Calm down. After 11, I forgot.
Wow.
After after 11, before 13, the number.
Wow. That's a lot in just a couple
No,
months.
but what's the number?
Oh,
After
12.
11 and 12. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, chapter 12 is Halloween. So so yeah, man, like I can see it having 30 chapters, and I probably won't write anything. I can say for sure because when it's done, I can do a sequence in college in California. I can do a sequence in college in Miami. I don't know.
Mhm.
I can have I mean, I can like not write for 3 years, then realize that I'm getting older and I want to do something. So I write. I don't know what will happen in my life.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
And
that's the thing. Like the story is following Anne's life, so you could just have a time skip.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And so yeah, man, I think that like any on Manhattan at least will have like 30 chapters
Ooh, oh yeah,
because I also really want to do everything to the story. So for
yeah.
example, we will have a Halloween episode, we will have a Christmas episode, and the before Halloween episode, like like the theater play does not have to happen before; it can happen after. But just an example, right? I want a episode for the theater play. I want a episode focused on her romantic life, and maybe like on her romantic life, she'll focus more on someone else. So I will do a chapter focused on just Annie and Sky. And it will have a lot of content. Like Annie will chat a lot with this guy. Like, hey, maybe Annie just goes out, maybe with Maddie, maybe with uh, someone she likes. So this will be a specific chapter. I really want to do everything. I want to do a chapter about Broadway. Like Logan, he wants to be an actor, so it's kind of about his plot. I want to I want to make a chapter about what's the name, man? Some important place in Manhattan, some place that everyone goes, right?
The uh, the square.
Yeah. Squares Garden, right?
Oh, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I think it's that. Think that.
Okay.
But but yeah, I think there's a avenue, famous avenue about marketing. I know that because of Mad Men,
Hmm.
and so yeah, basically like famous spots in Manhattan, right? I will explore that. It just seems life in general. I really want to do a nice complex story. So yeah, lots of chapters, and I just hope I won't be homeless until this because I kind of need a better job.
Yeah, I hope you're able to get them all out. Well, is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
Hmm, let me think. Let me think. Yeah, what's your favorite chapter until then?
Say that again.
What's your favorite chapter?
Oh, might be too early to say. Mm, uh, probably it's probably just recency bias speaking, but I'm gonna say chapter 5.
Chapter 5. Yeah, I remember that before chapter 5, you say the chapter 4.
Yeah, you're getting better every time. That's the thing.
Yeah, I kind of agree, man. Kind of agree.
And I
Like,
kind of want to wait for. I want to wait for more so then I can sort of
yeah, do a
compare a
proper,
bunch of them
proper,
together
a
and
proper
see.
ranking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, when you say chapter 4, I was kind of like, really? Because I think that chapter 2 and chapter 3 are so nice. Like, chapter 2 with the dynamics of people picking on Sarah. Like, but yeah, I mean, I really think that chapter 4 and chapter 5, they are more robust. I
Yeah.
don't know if this word, yeah,
I
this
get what
word
you're
exists
saying.
then, yeah, they have more power, and
Yeah.
I agree, man. Like, I think the dialogue in chapter 5 is so good, man. So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And chapter 3, I think it was really good, but I had to introduce a lot of things, right?
I
For example, if you're talking about the wedges, and I don't think that the Cassie wedge was as good at chapter 4 or chapter 5.
I think
I
it was. I think it was just as good. See, I think
oh
there's a lot of great moments in all 5 chapters. I think chapter
yeah,
5
for
just
sure, for
barely
sure.
edges it out.
Yeah, I mean, in chapter 3, Sarah gave in a gigantic wedding
Yeah.
too. So yeah, that's that. But and the audition wedges, I really like them. And I think the last, a funny thing, I just noticed that I wasn't really expecting that, but in the end, Annie is the character that really took the most wedges until then. She took one in chapter 3, one in chapter 4, and one in chapter 5.
Mhm.
So yeah, like she she really, like, her reputation makes sense,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I think that Cassie would probably have more wedges than her, but Sarah gave her that one in chapter 3, and Henry got her in chapter 5. At the beginning, I was not planning for Henry to wedge her. After, in the first first, what's the name? In the first version of the story, Henry would give her a wedding like in the beginning. Then I took it off because I think that this structure was much more fun if Henry is just waking up in the car and like that. And they would be already in the school too. I like it there. But the wedding in the engine, I was not planning to do that.
Hmm.
But I just felt like what would be so good because we did not have a Henry and wedding yet. And I just feel like it really makes sense because like Henry discovered that Annie gave this girl a wedding in school. And that's something that I will mention in chapter 6 too. That Henry had like a rule with Annie that if Annie's underwear was poking out of her pants, he would give her a wedding. So that's like a funny dynamic that I mentioned in chapter 6. And
Well,
and yeah,
you do have him in a flashback that in a memory that Anne has while they're in the car in chapter 1. He gives her a wedgie.
yeah, exactly. But see, it's a flashback, right? Like in I mean the first Henry anyway in that really happens when Annie is on Manhattan, you know?
Hmm. You talking about, okay, so present day. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. And yeah, man, like Annie is kind of deserving. Well, it's kind of deserving. For, you know? I really like how the scene turned out. I really like the banter and the dialogue in this chapter. I think chapter 5 is really good. See? Good.
Yeah, I mean your dialogue has been consistently very strong in my opinion all throughout.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Vaughn.
Thanks, bro. Like, dude, you anytime you want to talk about New Manhattan, I'll be here. Like, I know you probably don't want to do like 5 episodes about New Manhattan. When I read Luckily Unlucky, I can come here talk to you if you want. But it's really nice to talk to you about stories.
Yeah, I mean just
It's a very fun chat. Like I chatting non-stop like 2 hours and
yeah.
15 minutes, and I feel like I could be there for 2 more hours.
Yeah, it was
But
effortless.
like, yeah, but the chat needs to end sometime, right?
Yeah, I mean if you read other stories or like if you put out a couple more chapters in Anno Manhattan, got no problem talking again. It was fantastic having you on.
Yeah, just invite me, man. Like, I don't know, chapter 5 on chapters launch. Like you have some free time, want to talk? It's
Yeah.
talk. Nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd love to talk again. Well, thank you audience members for listening. And I will see you on the next episode of the Best Book Club. Whenever that is.